There are just 13 games left to play here in Season 2 of our realistic Norwich City career mode, which means just 13 games left to secure our Premier League status. Looking over the Premier League table over the last 5 seasons, it looks like we're going to need to aim for about 35 points to ensure our survival. That means we need to take 12 points from our remaining 13 games, almost a point per game. 12 points does also, of course, mean 4 wins. I could see us winning against Leeds in the final month of the season. I think we have 3 good opportunities to pick up wins next month with matches against Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace and Leicester. And I think we have 2 very good opportunities here today as well as we face Wolves and Bournemouth. Our trip to the Vitality will be our featured game. We'll also be travelling to Stamford Bridge and you'll see highlights of that game against Chelsea as well as first here against Wolves. Discontent amongst the players is high, morale is understandably low, but we are playing to inject a bit of life and cohesion back in the squad as much as anything. One way to build that cohesion is to select a consistent starting 11, and that is exactly what Johannes Thorup has done here ahead of our trip to Molineux. So Leander Dendoncker starts against one of his former clubs, and Patrick Pfeiffer maintains his place at centre-back despite criticism from the fans after his arrival. And it was Wolves that would get off to the quickest start in this one, Jason Steele being forced into a save early. And I was certain that Pedro Neto was going to put Wolves ahead 20 minutes into the game as he burst past Wesley Hoyt with a quick turn of pace. But Jason Steele again was equal to it. This one was a top save. I was convinced we were 1-0 down. And I was convinced we'd gone 1-0 up. 10 minutes later at the opposite end, Borja Sainz cutting in off the left-hand side, unleashing with his right foot. I was certain I would see the net ripple, but it flashed just wide of the Wolves post. The deadlock was finally broken an hour into the game though. You miss it at the beginning of the highlight there, but Leander Dendoncker didn't see Matheus Cunha lurking between him and Wesley Hoyt. He passed the ball straight to him. Matheus Cunha walked through on goal, chipped the ball over Jason Steele. That made it 1-0 Wolves, and it was a second bit of poor defending, this time from Wesley Hoyt himself, that allowed Wolves to double their advantage just 10 minutes later. Hoyt was too slow in clearing the danger. Matheus Cunha picked his pocket, dispatched it again. And from there, maybe understandably, we allowed our heads to drop. We were all over the place defensively. Matheus Cunha finding Miguel Almiron on the edge of the box. He too just simply chipped it over the on-rushing body of Jason Steele to make it 3. And it looked as though Johnny Rowe was at least going to pull one back for us just seconds from the end of the game. He burst through on goal all alone. He couldn't do what the Wolves strikers managed to do today though. He hit a shot straight at the Wolves goalkeeper, but it would have just been a consolation goal anyway. There was no way back as soon as that third goal went in, and it's another really disappointing result, and a result we can't really afford. And it's particularly frustrating because again, we played well, and I find myself scratching my head trying to work out not only how we lost, but how we lost 3-0. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And Norwich City manager Johannes Thorup may be many things, but he's not insane. So he has made significant changes here ahead of our featured game of the episode against Bournemouth. We've reverted back to our 3-4-3 formation. Patrick Pfeiffer moving to the centre of a back 3 alongside Wesley Hoyt and Callum Chambers. Whilst Leander Dendoncker has been dropped from the side completely, he's been less than impressive since joining the club and was at fault for 2 of the goals in our last game against Wolves. Bournemouth themselves will again feature former Norwich City right back Max Aarons and newly acquired Marc Cucurella, as well as Eddie Nketiah up front and a pair of former Leeds players in Tyler Adams and Luis Sinisterra. Bournemouth currently sit rock bottom of the Premier League table, so if we can't beat them, we can't beat anyone. But it's absolutely essential that we do beat them and put 3 points on the board so that we can create some kind of a gap between ourselves and the relegation zone ahead of the last couple of episodes of the series. So without further ado, let's head over to the Vitality Stadium and try and put those 3 points on the board. So we are up in the commentary box at the Vitality Stadium for another all-important match at the bottom of the Premier League. I feel like I say that every episode. But every single game at the moment is so important. Bournemouth is offside. But a bright start. Looking to get in behind early, despite the fact that we are playing a formation that some would argue is more defensive than our previous configurations. But Leander Dendoncker has been dropped from the side completely. He has been pretty awful since joining the club, to be honest. We brought him in with the intention of him being a real enforcer in front of the back four, and it just has not panned out that way at all. And in fact, it's been the opposite. He has assisted the opposition in scoring more goals than he's really cut out. Wesley Hoyt cuts it out there, though, and Lewis O'Brien comes away with the ball on this left-hand side. Bournemouth making a run in behind up ahead of him. Max Aarons is matching him stride for stride. And eventually, between him and the Bournemouth centre-back, they do manage to deal with Bournemouth. We know Bournemouth like to push their fullbacks forward, though. Max Aarons on this side, Mark Cucurella on the far side. So that is something we're going to be looking to exploit. I'm hoping this 3-4-3 will allow Patrick Pfeiffer to shine a little bit more as well. He has also not been the best, and that has been pointed out in the comments. But with both Wesley Hoyt and Callum Chambers alongside him, hopefully we won't need to rely on him to have the ball at his feet quite as often. And he will have a bit of protection either side in terms of pace. Get there, Borja Sainz just about gets there. Josh Sargent is in the box, but that is a horrific cross. Straight to Neto, the Bournemouth goalkeeper. But as we said, a bright start. Well won by Callum Chambers. Josh Sargent can't bring it under control. Looked like a fairly routine ball to hold on to, but doesn't turn out to be the case. Marcelino Nunez with the foot in against the laws of the game, according to the referee, but he does play advantage. Cucurella and Sinistera will try to take advantage. Marius Wolf sends the ball out for a throw, which Bournemouth have taken quickly. Cucurella beats Marius Wolf, and I thought the referee was going to say that wasn't against the laws of the game, but he does give a free kick, which it looks like Scott is going to deliver into the box, and he does. Comfortable for Wesley Hoyt, and Lewis O'Brien can turn on that and come away with it. Josh Sargent to his left, and it's a poor pass from Lewis O'Brien, but Sargent just is not making the run there. No idea why he isn't trying to support his teammate. He is our only striker. He is set to get in behind, and I'm pressing the left bumper to get him to run. Yet still just stands there and watches. Steele parries away at the near post. Bournemouth deliver once more. Headed not clear by Johnny Rowe. Not really sure what happened there, but he didn't seem to get particularly good contact on the clearance. And Lewis O'Brien through Wesley Hoyt and Borja Sainz, I was going to say, can break free. Again, not the case. Wasteful in possession at the back. This is something that cost us against Wolves. There's a good save by Jason Steele to bail us out. We keep giving the ball away. We keep giving the ball away in dangerous areas and for no reason. And it's something that's cost us multiple times this season, especially recently. Is that offside from the corner? Regardless, we do have a free kick. And Lewis O'Brien again can turn on it and come away on the left-hand side. Harry Toffolo. Plenty of space down this left-hand side. Bournemouth playing very narrow, and it's another awful pass. Absolutely awful. Borja Sainz had no chance at all with that. Toffolo just didn't put anywhere near enough on it. You have to drop that in behind for Borja Sainz to run onto. Nunez. Toffolo. Hoyt, and we can work it to the right-hand side where Marius Wolf and Johnny Rowe would like their opportunity to create to to create a goal-scoring chance. But Marius Wolf, like Harry Toffolo, can't find the winger up ahead of him. Borja Sainz. Facing down Max Aarons. Good defending by Bournemouth, though, and I think potentially Tyler Adams dropping in. Really good challenge, Lewis O'Brien. And Johnny Rowe is in. Mark Cucurella stepping up to try and deal with it. Josh Sargent in there, but can't quite get his head on it. We've struggled to find Josh Sargent from those kinds of situations. We used to have so much success doing that, and it's just... that particular avenue of attack has just dried up a little bit of late. Good challenge, Wesley Hoy, and let's pounce. Borja Sainz. Josh Sargent. Again, it's not a good ball. The final pass has got to be better. Just nowhere near enough on it. Cucurella in behind. Callum Chambers across to deal with it, though. Cucurella does find Sinisterra. So Brian is back in a defensive position as well, though. And it's going to be Johnny Rowe versus Mark Cucurella in a foot race. Josh Sargent running through the middle. Johnny Rowe finds him. This time the pass is good, and it's an awful touch from Sargent. Again, seemed like a simple one to bring under control. And it just didn't pan out that way. Nice little turn from Lewis O'Brien, though. Great challenge from the Bournemouth midfielder. So we said we probably need about 12 points. Great challenge, Marius Wolf. I thought the referee was going to give a free kick there. Josh Sargent brings it down and blocked by Bournemouth. That was the hardest one to control of the three. But Sargent managed to bring that one under a spell. It's Lewis O'Brien who's taken a knock. We'll see if he can run it off before we bring on the likes of Liam Gibbs or potentially Kenny McLean. Again, no Leander Dendoncker. Sargent can't quite win the header in the box. And we can't pressure Bournemouth enough to pin them back on the edge of their box either. We do enough to stifle the quick break and slow them down at the very least. So we said 12 points is the target over the next 13 games. Well, over the next 12 games now that we've lost to Wolves. And we said that obviously equates to 4 wins. Does also equate to 3 wins and 3 draws. And I think if we're going to get 3 or 4 wins, one of them you would imagine has to come here against Bournemouth. They're bottom of the table. We don't face too many teams who on paper are worse than Bournemouth over the remainder of the season. It's another good save by Jason Steele, and again we can't get it away. We just can't clear the ball. We just cannot put our foot through it when we win it at the back. Taken short by Bournemouth on this occasion. Nunez and Wolf there, but can't deal with it. Sinisterra, I believe, twisting and turning. Still we can't clear. What does it take just to get somebody to put their foot through the ball? Clear it. Unreal. So frustrating. So frustrating. Such a simple pass. Such a simple pass. And that's what it's been over the last several episodes. Just unable to do the most basic of things. Either going forward or defensively. And it's another save by Jason Steele. Called into action yet again. Lewis O'Brien is still carrying that knock. And again, I think it's going to be offside from the corner. When are Bournemouth going to learn? So I think it looks like we're going to have to bring Lewis O'Brien off. We will wait until the ball next goes out of play to make the change. Just in case he does manage to run it off. But he has been nursing that injury for quite some time now. So I don't imagine that he is going to be able to continue. Max Aarons finds a teammate who finds Semenyo. Laid off on the edge of the box. We've got to get a foot in. We can't. We finally get a block in. with Callum Chambers. But it's Bournemouth who are pressing. It's Bournemouth who look far more likely to score. And Nunez again can't make the tackle. Semenyo turns Nunez inside out. Good block from the shot from Eddie Nketiah. And I thought we were going to give the ball away again there. That would have been immeasurably frustrating. Callum Chambers. A little bit of movement from literally anybody would be lovely. There's Borja Sainz. Can't quite find Josh Sargent. I think we're going to get a free kick though. And we are going to have to take Lewis O'Brien off. And I think it is going to be for Liam Gibbs. We do have Kenny McLean on the bench as well. But Liam Gibbs offers us a bit more going forward. And we are very much looking to win the game, obviously. Let's have a go with Nunez here. It's far too much. You literally, you can't do 3.5 bars of power. It's literally impossible. You can do 3 and then it's too weak. You can do 4 and it blazes over the bar. You can't do 3.5. It's not possible to time it. Very, very frustrating game. If you can't tell. Games have been getting more and more frustrating over the last several episodes. Steele looking for Johnny Rowe, who I think has had, what, 1 touch of the ball, maybe 2. Could have an influential touch of the ball here, though. As he finds Josh Sargent, brings it down on his chest, fires across goal. And wide. Best opportunity of the game by far. For us at the very least. Good effort by Josh Sargent. The Bournemouth defender did well to come across and narrow the angle. But we should probably at least have got that on target. Well won by Patrick Pfeiffer. Johnny Rowe beats Mark Cucurella. And it's a decent enough effort with the ball into the box. Looking for Josh Sargent. Couldn't quite find him. And it is 0-0 at half-time. And it could be worse. It could be worse. Bournemouth have had the better of that first half for certain. We need 3 points here today, but we absolutely need to not lose. If we lose to bottom of the table Bournemouth and allow them to close the gap 3 points with us just outside of the relegation zone, that would be an absolute tragedy. So we'll take 0-0 at half-time. We'll look to go one better in the second half. Thank you for checking out this episode of our realistic Norwich City career mode. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you leave a like. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're approaching the end of the FC24 cycle now, but there'll be plenty more content to come with the release of FC25, including 12th man memberships. If you want to get more involved with the channel, check out the membership tiers on my homepage. Memberships start at less than £2 per month and come with a whole host of benefits and rewards, including you being able to feature in my career mode saves. We'll be starting a road to glory with a created club as soon as FC25 drops. So if you want to be included in the save or even feature in our starting 11, become a 12th man member of the channel today. 12th man members also get exclusive early access to all of my videos, not only my career mode series, but also my realistic slider sets and everything else in between. If you want more information about exactly what each tier involves, be sure to check out this video on my homepage. If memberships aren't for you, you can also join the public area of my Discord server, or just keep watching and enjoying the content for free right here on YouTube. As always, I appreciate all of your encouragement and support. Now, let's get back to the video. So, back out for the second half here against Bournemouth at the Vitality, where we need to step it up in the next 45 minutes. We need to see an improvement, not just over the first half, but over the performances we've put in recent weeks. We can't allow Bournemouth to create anywhere near the number of opportunities they created in that first half, because they will take the lead in this game if we do so. Borja Sainz with the block. Max Aaron sees it out, but sees it out for a Norwich throw. Wesley Hoyt. Patrick Pfeiffer, who has been better today with Chambers and Hoyt either side of him. Good run in behind by Josh Sargent. Can Marius Wolf find him? Probably not, but it is going to put Bournemouth under pressure and force a corner. Now let's get bodies in the box. Including Pfeiffer, including Sargent, including Hoyt, who was at the near post. Couldn't win the header though. And Toffolo's going to have to be careful here. He does let it drop, but he does bring it under control fairly soon after. That was an awkward one for Toffolo to deal with. Borja Sainz. Wesley Hoyt. Patrick Pfeiffer. Got an overload on this left-hand side, and we do manage to find Harry Toffolo. One of the reasons we had the overload, though, is that Josh Sargent was over there on the left-hand side. He did get into the box eventually, and it was a decent enough pullback to try and find him. But dealt with by Bournemouth, who are away on this left-hand side. Sinistera absolutely having Marius Wolf for breakfast, and Jason Steele thankfully parries away at the near post, and he's absolutely furious with his defenders, one of whom has taken a knock, like Lewis O'Brien in the first half. So we'll have to monitor the situation of Callum Chambers as Johnny Rowe heads clear at the near post. Liam Gibbs with a good foot in, and it's an equally good challenge by the Bournemouth man, Harry Toffolo. Can we catch Bournemouth out? Potentially. Bit too much pace from the Bournemouth defender though. Borja Sainz. We're not going to get the pass off in time. It was a good run from Nunez. It just took a little too long to materialise though. And by then, Borja Sainz had been closed down by the Bournemouth defender. And a big switch of play from Bournemouth. Marius Wolf again isolated. Cucurella. Johnny Rowe tracking back. Sinistera linking up well with Cucurella. They've looked good down the left-hand side. Not just today, but in our previous encounter with Bournemouth as well. That's a really good challenge. Callum Chambers, who has managed to run off that knock and who has managed to find Johnny Rowe. And again, it's going to be a foot race between Rowe and Cucurella. Cucurella with a bit of a head start in terms of building up speed. And Johnny Rowe couldn't quite find Josh Sargent again. Really good challenge, Marcelino Nunez. And there's nothing on. There's nothing on. Patrick Pfeiffer thankfully gets there. But there are zero options at the moment. Harry Toffolo finds Borja Sainz. Borja Sainz surrounded by 4 Bournemouth defenders. And again, there's nothing on. There's nothing on. Borja Sainz has the ball. 4 Bournemouth defenders around him, and there's not a single yellow shirt. Theoretically, if Borja Sainz has got 4 defenders around him, there should be multiple Norwich players free. And there just isn't. I mean, I know we're playing, like, technically 5 at the back. But we do have 2 of them on join the attack. We are playing tiki-taka, so the remaining players should at least be making themselves available for a pass, even if it is backwards. That's a great ball from Marcelino Nunez to find Borja Sainz. Harry Toffolo with the overlapping run. Delivers into the box, looking for Nunez! It was Nunez that got the move started. It was Nunez that almost finished it off with a header in the 6-yard box. Parried away well by the Bournemouth goalkeeper. Bournemouth make a change. I think we're going to do the same here by bringing on Tieno Ballo for Johnny Rowe. Johnny Rowe just not really offered enough down that right-hand side so far today. So Tieno Ballo will have his opportunity to make his mark on the game as Nunez prepares to deliver the corner. Looking for Wesley Hoyt, parried away. Chambers knocks it down to Patrick Pfeiffer on the edge of the box, who strikes from range. Blocked by Bournemouth. Marius Wolf puts it back in. Headed clear again by Bournemouth. And it does look like they're going to be able to clear the danger. Marius Wolf trying to maximise the danger before Bournemouth are able to clear. And they do manage to work it free. Through Thuram on their right-hand side. Nunez steals the ball away, though. Terrible mistake from Bournemouth. Incredible save from the Bournemouth goalkeeper. I thought that was flying into the top corner. Nunez had to take the shot on early, because otherwise he wouldn't have been able to take a shot on at all, I don't think. Terrible, terrible mistake from one Bournemouth player, but his teammates rectified that mistake by acting quickly to get in and cover. Tiano Ballo just about wins the header. Harry Toffolo twisting, turning, looking for Ballo on the right-hand side. Marius Wolf finds him. It's a really good cross from Ballo. Sights to the back post and parried away again by the Bournemouth goalkeeper. We just can't put this ball in the back of the net. We will try again here as Nunez delivers another corner. Wesley Hoyt can't win it this time. Sainz knocks it down to Nunez, but it's a poor header. But it is going to allow Nunez to strike from range. But again, blocked by Bournemouth, and it does look like they're going to be able to work the ball clear. Max Aarons. We will pressure them again, though. It forced a mistake last time. Will it force a mistake again? It looks like it might. Almost. Just a Bournemouth throw. Borja Sainz doing his best down that left-hand side, but he is showing the effects of that just a little bit. Looking a little bit tired, a little bit leggy on the left wing. We don't really have any option to replace him, though. That's going to be a handball. I mean, we do have Adam Eder. Obviously, he's not an option on the left, but Tiano Ballo could be an option on the left. We could move Josh Sargent out to the right and bring Adam Eder on through the middle. And I think if it's still 0-0 with 10 minutes to go, I think that might be what we do. It's going to be another free kick. Just outside the area, lofted into the box. Tiano Ballo couldn't quite win it. Was in a really good position to cause an issue for Bournemouth. Liam Gibbs tracking back. Failed to make an impact on the game today as well, Liam Gibbs. Really, our entire... Well, that's harsh on Marcelino Nunez, to be fair. Nunez has made an impact. Lumbered clear by Jason Steele. Is just about going to make it back to the Bournemouth goalkeeper via the Bournemouth defender in the end. It looked as though it was going to trickle into the box. Borja Sainz, what a challenge. Liam Gibbs will step onto Bournemouth, though. And again, Harry Toffolo just failing to make that overlapping run. Despite the fact he is on join the attack, despite the fact that he's on overlap, despite the fact that I'm pressing the run button. Just standing there staring. Sargent again applying the pressure. And there are 10 minutes to go, and it is still 0-0, so we will be moving Sargent out to the right-hand side. Next time the ball goes out of play. For now, Sargent is going to have to find a position in the box, which currently he's not doing. Get in the box, Josh Sargent. Please. You're literally our only target to aim for from crosses. Gibbs. Really nice ball into Nunez. Finds Sargent. Strikes from range. Blocked immediately. It's going to be another free kick, and this will give us an opportunity to make those changes as well. Bournemouth also to make a change. Darun off. It's going to be Davis on. So just two more changes for Johannes Thorup and Norwich, despite the fact that he has 3 remaining. It is going to be Adam Eder on for Borja Sainz, and it's going to be Ryan Fredericks, former Bournemouth man, on for Harry Toffolo. Marius Wolf has gone over to the left-hand side. He will take the free kick. It goes straight into the Bournemouth wall. Fredericks will collect, though, and he will deliver. Nunez Good header, but straight at the Bournemouth goalkeeper. Really, we would have liked to have taken that down and then got a shot away. Probably on the half volley. Tiano Ballo strikes from range. There's going to be another corner. Pressing for a winner here late in the game. Just 5 minutes remaining. A goal now for either team would surely win it. Nunez delivers. Sargent in the box, and it's just over. Just over the bar. Comes so close to winning. Oh my God, that's so close. That is so close. Would we be happy with a point? I think happy would be a stretch. I think we would have to be content with a point, because losing here against Bournemouth would be so disastrous. And they have had their fair share of chances in the game to find a winner. A draw probably would be the fair result. Bournemouth looking to take all 3 points though. Really good challenge. Patrick Pfeiffer. Tiano Ballo. Can he skip away from the Bournemouth press? It's Max Aarons. Yes, he can. Not just once, but twice. Tiano Ballo down the left-hand side. Adam Eder in the box. What a ball it is! Finds the Bournemouth head before the Norwich City head. And in the end, falls harmlessly into the grateful arms of the Bournemouth goalkeeper. It looked as though the ball from Tiano Ballo might be perfect for a moment. We have to be so careful here that Bournemouth don't win it at the death. 2 good blocks, both from Patrick Pfeiffer. He's had a much better performance today. Bournemouth really pressing, you can feel it. Good challenge. Nunez finds Eder. Finds Frederick on the right-hand side. I wasn't sure we were going to for a minute. Get in the box, get in the box, get in the box! Neither Eder nor Sargent are in the box, and Nunez doesn't shoot! Neither Adam Eder nor Josh Sargent made a run into the box there. Both are running towards me as I'm crossing the ball to you. Why are you running towards me? So it's just going to be a point. Again, probably fair. Probably the right result. But another frustrating result. I feel like we could have won that game in the second half. I feel like Bournemouth could have won it in the first half, though, to be fair. And I think if we look at the match facts, they probably have the edge over us. 59% possession, more passes attempted, but we do have more shots. The expected goals does favour us as well. That does feel like how the game went, I would say. Bournemouth were much better in the first half. We were better in the second. We created more clear-cut opportunities over the course of the game, I would say. But ultimately, a point for each team, probably right. And to make matters worse, that injury to Lewis O'Brien was a bad one. He is going to be out for the remainder of the season. So Leander Dendoncker has been in and out of the starting lineup. He's only recently arrived in January. He's already been dropped for poor performance, but he's likely going to find himself back in the starting 11 again with Lewis O'Brien now out. That point does allow us to stay out of the relegation zone by the skin of our teeth at the moment, though. Brentford below us have a game in hand. We are 2 points ahead of Brighton, though. Burnley also have a game in hand. They're 3 points behind us, so could go level on points with us. They have a better goal difference too. So we'll see if we can do anything against Chelsea in our final game of the episode, where Armando Broja, recently recalled by Chelsea from his loan deal at Norwich, starts up front. Leander Dendoncker has come back into our side. Jose Cordoba comes into the back five as well. Despite a better performance from Patrick Pfeiffer against Bournemouth, he heads to the bench. And unsurprisingly, Chelsea started the brighter in this particular game, creating opportunities not only from open play but also from set pieces. But as Chelsea pressed for an opening goal, we did have chances on the counter-attack. This one from Josh Sargent, I was certain was going to hit the back of the net in front of the away fans. But again, as has so often been the case lately, It flashed just wide. And Chelsea finally did open the score in 3 minutes before the end of the first half. And it was another absolute gift from the referee. A penalty that should never have been. Cole Palmer tucked it away in the top corner. And again, we allowed our heads to go down. And Chelsea doubled their lead seconds before the break. Armando Broja, who enjoyed a not particularly good loan spell at Norwich the first half of the season, doubled the Chelsea lead. We did, of course, press to get back into the game after the break. Josh Sargent again coming close to grabbing a goal, but this one was parried away by the Chelsea keeper. And when Borja Sainz burst through on goal 55 minutes in, I felt certain we were going to have a goal back. But again, another incredible save. How we made this one at point blank range, such quick reflexes, I have no idea. And of course, the more we pressed, the more vulnerable we were at the back. And Chelsea made it 3 through Raheem Sterling. And then eventually 4 through Nicholas Jackson late in the game. So it's yet another episode without a win. It's an entire episode without a goal. We've really been struggling to score lately, which is particularly concerning because it's not something we struggled to do over the course of the entire series so far, really. And that failure to score has left us with the second worst goals for in the league and the worst goal difference in the league. The single point we managed against Bournemouth today, though, is enough to keep us out of the relegation zone for now. Burnley still have that game in hand. We have got a busy month to get to in April with 6 games to play. We've been saying we need 3 or 4 wins, and we have 3 very good opportunities to get wins next month as we take on Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace and Leicester. And we're going to have to get points from those games because our other opponents are going to be Newcastle, Liverpool and Arsenal. So as poor as we've been over the last couple of episodes, we can go a long way to securing our place in the Premier League next season in the next episode regardless. So I hope to see you there. Take it easy.